Friends, it's great to be with you now. It's actually late Saturday night, and I've got a few things I wanted to share with you that I'm excited about as we return to church together. Before I do so, I just want to share with you a bit about my evening. Beth and I had 14 of our family over, the adults and the kids, and we just had a really great evening together, celebrating 2 birthdays. We were sharing a sausage sizzle and a potato bake together. We talked about ministry, talked about churches. It was a lot of fun, and we poked fun at each other, and there's laughter. And everyone's committed to being there. It's my brother-in-law is now travelling down from Wombrel, so an hour and a half with 3 little kids in the car. So everyone makes a big effort to be there, and it's just a lot of fun. It's just had a really good evening. And it made me think about the fact that we get to do that week by week at church together, where we can encourage one another, we get to see each other, we get to hang out together, we get to poke fun at each other, we get to laugh at each other, we get to be shaped by God's word together. And it just made me think how much I'm looking forward to being at church again. So I'm looking forward to our future. Just can't wait. But what do I want to share? First thing is this, that we're putting things in place for what it means for us to be planting congregations in this part of Western Sydney. The slab went down on Monday with the church building at Silverdale, and that's just super exciting as we think about planting and launching that church there in Silverdale. But it's not just that. We're thinking about what kind of name we have for our church. We're kind of a church without a name at the moment, and thinking of a name that's going to help us, help our congregations at Glenmore Park, our new congregation at Silverdale, and any other gatherings that we plant in this part of Sydney, and have a name that works well in communicating Jesus to our community and what we're on about. So we've got things in place, and we've got some things to share, but down the track. So that's the first thing I'm excited about, thinking about our mission in this part of Sydney. The second thing is about our gatherings. We have a plan for our gatherings that is pastorally caring, evangelistically minded, and sustainable. Now, what do I mean by pastorally caring? What I mean by that is that each congregation is a place where every generation can be present. The children, the young people, the older people, we're all in there together, caring for one another, having things to offer as we look after each other. Maybe not a place where you know everyone, but a place where you are known by others and where you know others. So it's a place where we can look after each other, no matter who you are, no matter what age you are. So that's the first thing, pastorally caring. The second thing is evangelistically minded. We want our congregations to work well for inviting others in terms of the time of the service, in terms of our structured time, what happens there, the messages preached, the scriptures as they're read, our time of praying. We want that to work really well for people who are finding out about Jesus, as well as those who already trust him. We want our unstructured time to work really well for us as we share food and conversations with each other, conversations about what it means to follow Jesus and encourage one another as we follow him. Sustainable. I don't think this sounds terribly exciting, but I think it is. One of the things about church life is people being burnt out by doing too much. And as we form these gatherings, I don't want to be in a position where some people are doing too much and are burnt out. I want it to be a place where everyone does something and nobody does too much. So it's sustainable from that point of view, but also sustainable from the point of view that that gathering takes primary responsibility for the discipleship of the people in that gathering, including the children. Now, this is a bit of a big ask, and the reason it has to do with sustainability is we don't have a large pool of young adults to be running our children's ministries. We want to have a children's ministry at 10:45. We want to have a children's ministry at 9 o'clock. And we want to have a children's ministry at 5 p.m. But we want to have a very small pool of young adults. And we want to start up launch our new congregation at Silverdale. So we want to do this in a sustainable way. And the way for us to achieve that, and a good thing for us, is to be thinking about the other people in our church and how we can be helping disciple them, including the children. So pastorally caring, evangelistically minded, and sustainable. That's what we want to be doing. Now, we're going to try to do this as we launch our new 9 a.m., new 10:45, and new 5 p.m. congregations. Now, you might have realised that, well, where's 7 o'clock gone? It looks as though it's just shut down. Well, it hasn't gone. As we've been talking, we felt that the right thing to do is to combine the 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. congregations. That'll have a better critical mass. There'll be more focus from the staff. It'll be better in those ways. And so while a different time to 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. may have communicated that there's a new congregation, the fact is that this is going to be a new 5 p.m. congregation for everyone. And we recognise the 5 p.m. time is a really good time to include the children. So that's why it's still at 5, but it's a new congregation for everyone. Now, each congregation has that same vision of being pastorally caring, evangelistically minded, and sustainable, thinking about everyone ministering and taking that primary responsibility for the discipleship of those in the congregation. And that will also be the vision for the new congregation at Silverdale. They will be able to plant new gatherings with that as the shape of each gathering. Now, each congregation will indeed have opportunities and challenges. I'm keen to make things better. I'm keen to make things better with these changes. More focus from the staff. Better unstructured time together. A larger congregation in the evening. More hangout time in the evening. A better start time for families for our first service of the day. The opportunity to have a meal together after the 10:45 service. All of those things, the goal of it is to make things better. Now, I'm excited to try these things out and see if that's the case. And we can evaluate them down the track and see if they are better. So that's the plan. Now, over the next few weeks, we're going to be returning in groups. The idea is that we're placing everyone into a group of around 40 people. And we'll then let you know when your first week at church is happening and what it will be like. It will be different because we can't sing, and we'll be watching the Sunday church online material, and the kids will be using the Sunday kids material. So it will be different. And we're going to be doing that for at least the next 6 weeks. I'm keen for the staff and for all of us just to take one step at a time during this period, just to take the pressure and stress off things. So we don't try to figure everything out at once, but over the next 6 weeks, talk about what we'd like to be doing, what's going to work, what's not going to work. It just gives us an opportunity to think those things through. And I'm keen to listen, I'm keen to pray, I'm keen for the Lord to give me wisdom so I can lead us well during this time. What's the next step? Well, the next step is to choose a congregation to be part of, to fill in the online form that we have for helping us put you in a group and work out how you might be serving during this time. We'll put the link in the description or on social media. You'll be able to find it there. Now, we want to place you in one of those groups of 40 adults and children, and we'll be saving your seat with that group of people for when you feel comfortable to return to church. And if you don't feel comfortable because of COVID, because you feel vulnerable, you might be symptomatic, whatever the reason, we look forward to seeing you when you do feel comfortable and able to come back. But keep watching the church online material. It's going to be at the same time as our new congregations, and we're going to be interacting over Facebook. So watch it at the time with your congregation. And one last thing. Over the last few months, I've seen the people in our congregations, in our church, and how much they love Jesus, and how much they love the gospel, and how much they love each other. And I'm just looking forward to our future together. So I look forward to seeing you when we gather again soon.